we go.
Call the meeting to the Building and Grounds Committee to order. It's 5:01. Verification meeting notice. Item 3, approve the agenda. I will second that. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Item 4, continued business. 4.1, the playground.
There's, this is just so we don't forget it. It's still here. There's a picture, a bigger picture now, but we're still moving forward with it.
Very good. I have no, and I will second the motion to table. Put it on next month or next week, whatever our next meeting is. Right?
Yep.
So, okay, that item is tabled. Item 4.2, memorials.
Again, just to keep it there.
So just keep that as an ongoing until we get so I guess clarified. for them.
Hello, Mr. Manning. Your pile is right in front of Mr. Frisbee there.
Yeah, that's the meeting. You're one vote short. That was it. Item 5, new business, 5.1 flower beds.
So we have somebody that wants to build and plant flower beds, but we've been trying to make sure everything is very well kept and easy to keep. Mrs. Plonka, any flowers in this place, Mrs. Plonka took care of everything. And she does a great job. But she wanted to put a new one someplace. Are you there, Mrs. Plonka, that you can address that?
Not so much new, but I was just, last year you had mentioned by the playground there where the flag bed is, that you're gonna cement that all, but it sounds like that's kind of off the table for next year.
It's not off the table. The problem is that wood is rotting
Yeah,
and it's not gonna last much longer.
right.
So, the one by the flower.
That's also where you want to potentially fix that, the water coming across.
Yeah.
So I think we gotta get that figured out. So we put in the flower bed.
Yeah, the drainage needs to be fixed and we have a kind of a plan, quasi plan for that. But not quite yet. So when she planted, they're gorgeous, but I'm worried that she'll plant and do all that work and then we'll have to take it down. And that's worse than her not even planting it.
Being plant flower there, I wouldn't build a new flower bed in there until we get that figured out.
Okay, so if you want to plant them, Mrs. Blanca, that's okay, but realize that it might be taken out at some point.
Yeah, okay. About the there was talk about something for Jay O'Connell, but I really wasn't in on that. So that might be the new flower bed you're thinking of. That wasn't really me. I think Mike Monty was talking about that, and maybe Jim.
Yeah, that actually came up in the memorials section, and we tabled that tonight just because we want to keep it in front. What we'd like to do is, Mike's suggestion is to create an actual section of our grounds for memorials.
Okay,
We're not
that sounds
moving
good.
trees, and we feel bad when the trees die or we have to move them or whatever. So,
Okay.
yeah, Jay
Yeah.
O'Connell still hurts.
Yeah. I would just say if you're going to do something, tell me before I plant it so I don't waste flowers.
Yep. Thank you.
Anything else on that? 5.2, putting electricity in the amphitheater, $1,200, not including road work.
I'll let Frank talk about that.
Jim Barnett was up here and he gave us a bid to do the electrical work and put a little junction box right outside, where the amphitheater would be. And they put a breaker box inside the greenhouse. And when we talked about the road work, it's where it goes across the bus lane. We'd have to tear that up to run mine underneath. And we'd have to do that before we do it. And the day that we haven't got started, that would get it back.
Wouldn't take much I should drop PVC in there.
No, not at all.
It's just in there and you don't want.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to make sure you knew we had looked at it, and I'm like,
Don't put electric stuff there, do it. So,
Yeah.
well, yeah, put the pipe in.
Put the conduit in.
Yes.
At least put the conduit in.
And $1,200 isn't really that much, and then that will be a very much more used area because you can plug in your radios, you can have, speakers out there, all that kind of stuff. So,
Bands like can be tremendous.
yeah. So you okay with me scheduling it? It's only $1,200, but
Looking, I mean, looking through it in buildings and grounds, I don't
Yep.
think
it's not that much money.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on that? 5.3 bus fuel systems. I know after one bus was break. Driving by it.
You know, you
I'm going to work, it's like.
But you're still laughing
But
about
it
it.
looked, I think, I don't know if it's Cheryl Richards or somebody had pulled up and was talking to him. I don't know. It looked like Cheryl, but I wasn't sure. I'm like, oh, it's taken care of, but I don't know. I didn't see any crying kids or anything, but it was right by my farm. And then we saw the emails and stuff, and then I had a phone call from one of the bus drivers and then another resident of the township, and just saying, do you know what's going on? I said, well, I assume there's the fuel lines are gelling up. And they were wondering, well, has the tank been cleaned? Petroleum diesel fuel tank been cleaned? How are we getting reassurances that the winter blends people put in at what percentage? So I said, I don't know when it's, they talked about, obviously biodiesel is not great if that's what they're using. I don't study the bids that closely, and biodiesel will gel up more readily than non-bio. Yeah, but then there was discussion that there's a mold that'll grow or a fungus or bacteria that grows on the inside of the tanks, and that could create problems. And I just was, is it just because of the super cold? That's the reason I'm bringing it up. There was just discussion, a lot more questions. Why do you think this is happening? Shouldn't this be addressed, or shouldn't we have assurances by who's ever putting the fuel in, or trying to get to the bottom of it?
Now, I did call Myers today.
Okay.
And the guy hasn't got back to me yet, but I'm gonna ask him those questions and then talk about the purging the tank. And trying to clean it off fresh. So for the tank, he talked about getting a double wall tank, but I don't think we need that. This one's just
Cut down the condensation on the wall.
Well-
So Tammy's thinking.
Well, they told her, that's what we should have. Yeah, a salesman will tell you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta have like above ground tanks. I used to deal with it when I worked for the state, and you had to have, depending on the size, certain the device, the overflow containment depending on, but I don't know if we call it double wall was required. Yeah, it's a nice thing to prevent me from driving into it, punching a hole in it, but I was just curious how to.
And I just kind of got brought into this later on and so forth, but the filter that's on the tank itself, I don't know when that was changed.
Okay.
I know they changed it after they put the kerosene.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Sure.
Mold grows in the tank. That's a real thing, and it's worse with bio. We tried to do it. But we have to.
Well, and we've been looking at pricing, went out and that kind of stuff. So the Arnesons had helped us as to the first day, and then after the second day, when we had the freeze up right in the middle of the lane, that was just, they had the fuel mixed right, and they added kerosene, is it? Which I'm like, okay, that's new on me. But once it warmed up, the buses were fine, and the fuel was mixed correctly, but because it was so cold. So Arneson did help us with that. And there was just a delay on the bus because it stopped in the middle of the road, basically.
It's been a couple of years since we've had this kind of cold.
Yeah.
And a long spell.
Yeah, and a long
That's
spell,
big.
right.
I felt horrible because I'm like, we just got all that stuff reprogrammed and all the electric fixed. Darn it.
I mean, we have frozen pipes up inside the school, on the inside wall.
every year, it gets that cold. We're still working on that one. But, so there is a process. We're gonna be looking at getting a new tank, possibly quoting one out, all that kind of stuff.
Just, we're addressing it, but I just was curious what,
Biggest thing is making sure that the tank filters checked and all that stuff.
how do you put the tank?
That I don't know, that would be transportation, but I'm not.
What is it? Run it down. Or you figure it out.
I think it's bigger than 500. I thought that was like 1,000 I'm looking at, but I don't know.
That's a big thing.
7.40 gallons. What? I don't know. I don't know what the size of it is.
I don't know. And we have a relatively new transportation director that Andrew was, he knew about all that stuff, and Tammy's a director, but she doesn't know all that
I
stuff.
was just thinking, if they cycle it pretty regular, I don't know. I mean, other than make sure you got winter blended, and like Frank was saying, is make sure you change the filters. I mean, you'd think if there's any water in the fuel, that it would get purged out as you process that, as you fill up the tanks, that there's enough motion in that tank, everything, for their buses that it would pull out.
I went down there today and I hit the bottom, because
Yeah,
the water and stuff come out, it was all. used. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they do it. Well, then I asked Dan, and she said that Myers changed that after kerosene.
okay.
So again, before that, I don't know when it's changed. You know,
Okay.
But at least once a year. if not twice.
they're supposed to do it like 4 times.
Each year.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Thank you for that update. 5.4 ESSER 2 grant money, capital planning 2021, 5.4.1 air conditioning.
So if we could look at the plan that's linked across, please. I thought we could potentially, so air conditioning playground, improving airflow and auditorium parking lots. So improving airflow would be adding like, the big, all that stuff that guy wanted to sell us. Oh, you can, it's free. Well, that's because you use your ESSER money to do this, but of course it's free because that's what the money's for, but there might be 900 other things you want to do first. So anyway, I thought if we went through the plan and thought about in relation to what we have and what we would, maybe we could prioritize some of these things, like what do we want to do if, when we get to that point, like, okay, I really want you, I really need this first. So, and some of, asphalt is one of the ones, but I did give you the quotes from the lower gym asphalt. And that would do this right here. So here's the buses. Here's the road. So that would do this area of asphalt. So this is Gassers and it's $65,000. So
That's a low.
that's, it's to pulverize, that's, no, you know what, that's 70.
74,350.
Thank you. Where's that total on here?
It isn't, I added it on.
I'm gonna do it.
On your sheet, not hers.
Yeah, that also includes all the way up here by the dumpster.
Oh, does it? That's not on this little.
I don't know if you
I
guys.
didn't copy the map. I just found it on the bag. Yep, that's the one I printed for the guys.
So that includes from the lower driveway coming in by the stop sign.
Yep.
All the way to that parking lot,
It's not on this. map.
up by the buses, up by the gas tanks,
Yes,
up by the shop.
yes, well, what they would do down below, they would pulverize that. And then once they get in the incline, then they would be able to pulverize it for some reason, it's beyond me. And then the rest of the way, they would later.
They lay it over all the way up to here.
Yes.
That's all the way out.
No, just up here by the
To the
dumpster.
dumpsters. And down that road, especially down that road.
Couldn't guarantee you that.
Well, just
That's
that-
not what's on
that
this.
Post is
This
all.
picture is.
Yeah, but so that's up here. That's where we have. the
I
cars.
just talked to Pat Anderson the other day, and that's what I asked him. I said, now that goes all the way where the buses are, all the way up past the shop, all the way up to the school where the dumpsters are.
Okay,
So I can reconfirm it.
yeah, because that was not what I was thinking it was, because, I mean, they literally drew something on that, so.
And I hope I'm right, you're wrong, but I'm not gonna say that's the. case.
Right. Permanent football bleachers, Frank did a costing on that, I put the 2 quotes on that.
And we did get a thing.
Oh, did you? Okay, so it was a range from 20,000 to 46,000, and we would have to do a concrete platform for them, just so you know. The roof on the bus shed. Not have a bus shed, one of the 2 wooden ones, or on the,
I guess I'm not sure what you're talking
Is that when you're rough over the bus?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
you-
did,
you-
just
yeah,
put
you-
the
you
roof over
did
the
mention
bus.
that.
Oh.
Yeah, you did mention that. But getting back to the bleachers, I was telling Julie and Cheryl, one reason why we probably wouldn't be able to do that for the bleachers is because of the baseball.
That's what I was.
It goes all the way up to the corner of the concession
That's
stand.
yeah.
So if you put 135, 175 feet, I think it was 175 foot bleachers, you're gonna go from the 50-yard line down to the 25-yard line. Nobody's gonna want to sit down there and watch the game. The only other thing we could do is get the bleachers at maybe 10, 15 years old or something. I don't even know if we want to get an estimate. on
oh,
that
it's
or not.
skinny?
Yeah. So our hands are kind of tied.
I wonder how much they get used anyway.
Yeah, that's.
Like the Roman sevens and sevens.
Yeah,
But I do know the system we got now sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, we're moving 5 bleachers up there then
And they're
back
getting
forth.
wrecked.
We gotta raise them up over that fence to
Yeah,
get them.
even if you could just get more to leave, have here and just
Yes.
move them back out of the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that'd be
See
different.
those up there or vice versa, but just not have that, move them.
And we could have a system where we put like a sled underneath it or some wheels or
Yeah,
something
just
to.
so you can get them out of the way back here.
Exactly.
Okay, so the amphitheater you can cross off because you already said we could do that. A track, again, everything is on here. I didn't take anything off. I really would like to purchase that corner lot. Does anybody know who owns that? Personally, I would like to purchase that. corner.
Wouldn't that be Art Hutchinson? Right here you're talking, right?
Right, yeah,
Right
so
outside.
on the far side of the baseball softball diamond.
Oh, yeah, where that shed is? And then part of the swamp, right?
Part of the swamp. But that's doable, workable.
But Hub City, Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing turned out really, really nice.
So I would like to know. I just want to investigate. We're gonna call
What
it
would
a
be- what
personal.
would be the reason to buy the land over on that side?
I think it would be neat to do baseball and softball up there. Could have a back-to-back. Lights for both. Could have the better updated field with what you need. Anyway, I don't know if there's enough room, but it won't hurt for me to look and see how much it costs.
I knew what I preferred, but. Man, look at that shed, that's.
Yeah, it's,
So, I think- Think I'd have to look at what.
I saw a lot of things.
yeah. I'm trying to. This is being taped, but nobody. I like the personally buy it and donate it if it's under a certain. Because then that removes the school from it, it's,
You can probably. Decent. One way group.
yeah, if it's only 2 or 3 acres and it's a normal price, but I'm a personal person buying it versus. a school district. Anyway, I'm just throwing that out there, so. Playground, I put the playground out here and it's gonna cost us about 80,000. We do need another van. Our van is getting very old. I am gonna apply for the grant again, and I was told that if you didn't get a grant, you should be getting it. It's called a transition grant, so. And that's all the outside stuff. Then the next page is all the space needs, and we can't do lots of this, but again, it's on here, and you guys have all seen this before, but if there's something like, oh, we should probably put this in our mix of things we probably could do if we have extra ESSER money. Let's see, there wasn't much there.
Remember we were talking about doing some of this when we first started doing that expansion in the, we were talking about. Then we went down and looked at the gym, even talking about what we can do with that gym. And now we've done some few things in there now. That gym looks pretty damn nice. The big problem is we have no locker rooms. We have locker rooms, but they're more like a place you put a swimming platform on. You know,
But it's just a budget.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, so
Okay.
I got thinking, what if, you know, if we ever did something where we built something else on up here, did something, moved up, had a better weight room up here for everybody to utilize more. And I know other schools have done it where they, you know, in the off hours, people can, you know, if you have an outside door, where people could come in off hours and, you know, staff or whoever could use it. And Highland's got that really nice one right when you come in. But anyways, then you can take what is the stage and lock or the weight room there, turn them into lock rooms. And then you would have, then you just close your lock rooms off down below, but your plumbing and everything is all right down below there. Easy to tie into the drains. You would have your gym down there with now usable locker rooms, because you know you could build that fairly easy, where you can come, you know, one people can go up one side of the stage and into the locker and up the other side. So instead of going downstairs, you just go upstairs with those locker rooms and the drains and everything below them. I would think it would be fairly easy to.
And you know, I was thinking about this the other day, if you decided to go the other way and tear that down, it's gonna cost you quite a bit of money. Because of asbestos.
Yeah, but you know, that gym is, it's totally usable. It's in pretty good shape. Now, but the kitchen gets shape. And just thinking of, you know, if you had you could do a nice bigger, you know, if you built on and, you know, say we built a new, you know, place for a weight room or whatever.
A rec center.
Yeah. But then you could do what you need to down there, because, you know, you don't need one shower, you know what I mean? 2 or 3 showers is really, you know.
I
all
think
you
the
need.
biggest thing it needs down there is work.
Yeah, that's one of the things that,
Yeah.
I thought that was
And I
on here.
did get a price from Danny Curry about 2 or 3 years ago. And he said he could do it still work on it.
On the,
On the gym. Now, that's not bad for that.
No,
but the flat.
Yeah.
Flat
Yeah.
roof is steel. You can put both in there.
but you know, that's what.
Yeah, I was asking that.
Well, you know, the thing is old, like I said,
Yeah.
we're gonna get in trouble.
Every summer, we clean that mold off.
You could pull the lockers out of there and paint them and redo them, you know what I mean? And you just wouldn't have that much in it. And like I said, you know, between the stage and, you know what I mean? You could do something if you had something up here.
Yeah.
But you're talking, it's a big size.
Well,
Yeah.
you could even leave the stage and then if
Liz, Paul,
Liz wants to do something again, I've got a couple locker rooms back there, so the kids can.
change
Ready
it.
and-
I'm
yeah,
just
I-
thinking, you know, size, I
Yeah,
haven't
that's a
been into
great
that, you know, to know enough, you know, if you took everything out of the weight room, if you have enough room to make, without coming out on the stage, if you have enough room to do lock rooms.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, yeah, there's the weight room, and then there's 3 practice rooms, 4 of them.
Is there like get class?
And then there's another, there's a bigger room, I think that used to be an office. And then there's another room of storage where all the choir has all of theirs. All the props.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw it.
So there's, all told, it's a lot.
Yeah.
There's like 3 practice rooms that just have, there's just stored junk there.
The room we were talking about, Julie, the officials shower or whatever. and Yeah, I think it's.
Just make the bed and fill it.
Yeah.
Well, and
But you know,
Got it,
and
got it.
then you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you know what I mean? See, you get that, so it's better down there. Usable, what it's using it for, you know?
Yeah.
And then you be able to update, something here.
well, and keeping, we'd like to keep our alumni close by and maybe sell it as a to the community. You live in the district. Get a fob and you can go and.
Yeah. Or you can pay the $10 a month or whatever to
Yeah.
something that
Well,
covers their water usage.
That's what- minimum.
You can make that, you can change it, and I think it's Fund 70. It's a community based. A lot of people do that. And then that helps pay for the electricity and the water and the paint when it,
That's what happened, it's done because the one night you're over there for a volleyball game or something, all of a sudden you see these, people like our age, coming in and out, and it's like, those kids, they gotta have their eligibility used up.
That's
Well,
pretty good.
That's what I asked somebody, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's a nice, and then they've got a couple of things in there you probably wouldn't normally have in there for a high school thing, but,
Yeah.
We're used to that, but if you go to another place and see that kind of thing, you call it. It's like,
Yeah.
It's
And
useful.
it's not bad, the gym, everything until you walk down those stairs is pretty dang usable.
And we have to do something with that wall because that's why it's disturbed. It's like, does everybody ask me why it's painted? Because it wasn't good for me, right?
Yeah. And look the same way next year.
Yeah, so.
Or peel right off. I do have that on here. Needs tuck pointing on the front, needs steel roof, 35,000. I'm like, what happened to those roof needs? All right, so not a lot. I love that idea. If you go to the blue technology section, and you guys can write on these and then write your names on them, and I'll collect them and we'll keep bringing them back to write on, just so you know. We did give Wisconnect and Laval Telephone everything we would need from them in order to move to their services, because there's some things as a school we have to provide. And so they were given that information months ago. We do have smart tech needs, but Adam and I have been working on a plan. Let's see if I can find that baby. And with a little bit of finagling, I think we can get quite a bit of it done. Let's see, a nice Julian Adam list. All right, let's get this out of here again. All right, so I'm like, what do we need? What do we need? And we've been talking about laptops versus Chromebooks for teachers. Sarah and Melissa need a laptop. Sarah needs a scanner. PaperCut is a way to scan things and save them electronically. But when you get down to here, we bought the Chrome tabs, and we should really budget for about a third of them every single year, because that's what we should be replacing. 3 years for a Chrome tab is typical.
Stretching it.
Well, I don't think it's stretching it. 3, it might be but for a Chrome tab for a little kid to use 3 years. So we should every year be budgeting $11,000 for that. Chromebooks, we have about 300. Again, annually, we should be budgeting at least $30,000 to replace a third. Because we did all the fundraising before I even got here to buy them. And now some of them are still that's how old they are. So then whiteboards, so those are the smart boards, whiteboards that they touch and can do things on. Those are old and out. So we would like to replace them. So this is the cool part. So we looked at how much is a TV and a desktop cost, and they're $5,200 each. And those are the 12 people that we would need them for. And we put second priority. First priority is middle school needs some laptops, especially because right now they are moving from room to room to room. Not as bad as it was before, but they're still moving. And that's only $5,400 because it would be 6 of them, but then they can plug in, they can still use their Chromebook because they're working, but they're not fast enough to do what they need to do. So you have to almost have 2 things going, one just to watch the Zoom and one to do what you need to do on the computer. And then we have high school desktops. That's our 3rd priority. And the bolded people, so Pope, Kling, Tommy, and Durkin, those are the old ones. So they're only $450 each, and that would be $3,150. So we did a lot of stuff with the money that we've done. Just done awesome getting everybody up to date. This is what we need to do, and I keep telling Adam we have to start keeping track of when we bought it. You know, what's the warranty on it, and end of life it. So like every senior, we should offer them the opportunity to buy their Chromebook, even if it's $50. It's something better than nothing. And then we can put that $50 towards the new ones because they've had the same Chromebook, most of them. And then they know it, it's theirs. They can take it with them. It will still be usable. Things like that. So
we got to replace the whiteboards. That's the 62,000.
yep,
Okay, and go down. So then to replace the laptops in middle school and high school both is what, 8,500?
Yeah. So, and we have 5 TVs now. So there are 5 of the things gone, and the teachers that have them are Mrs. Wanter has one. It's on a cart. She moves it from room to room. She absolutely loves it. It's touch. You can use the wand.
And
You
that's
can,
what the 65,000 would be, the ones like that.
right. And some of them still work okay, but most of them are, the ones that are really kaput, we replace with the TVs. So if it's, you know, if we can,
What age are those whiteboards that are going back?
oh, I think Mrs. Pinkstaff got almost the newest one, and it's at least 7 years old, maybe older.
It's about the time we had another one, right?
So,
That's
oops,
what when the technology was that it's. For those.
Yeah.
See schools put those in, my wife ever heard that's been before we came here, and go in their classroom. I'd say my daughter's in Boston, elementary, middle school, age, and that was the big thing in classroom.
and the reason they're so expensive is because they all have old desktops, and you need a new desktop to run the new software. So that's the adding this.
That wouldn't be every year.
Oops. No, this would get us, and again, I'm trying to plan something.
So if we do the 8,600
Yep,
and update all the desktops, then we're in position to be able to do the next part up above, right?
yep.
Because we would have to do the 62,000, we would first have to do the 8,600.
Well,
Make that work, right?
no. The 62,000 they're all different teachers.
Okay.
So the middle school is just laptops. Their desktops aren't that old. The desktops are basically just the high school. Those are the people that have them in the high school. And what we've done is if we were to replace, so middle school has desktops also, but their Chromebooks are getting really, really old. So they're not strong enough and powerful enough. So those are almost one-offs. And then we just need to keep a supply of those in, just like I told Adam, I don't know how many times I'm like, just order 20 of them. Just order 20 because it's taking us so long to get them that we need a supply of them.
But you were saying that part of the reason that that's so expensive up above the TV and the desktop is they have to get
The desktop with it, yes,
Okay, and so are none of these desktops down below we're talking are
in there.
in there, okay. But they're in that 60.
They're in the 6,200, yes,
62,000.
yes.
Yeah.
5,200 each, so it's about 48 for the TV, and the rest of it is for the desktop. So it's total, because you have to buy them both. That's how we did it. And again, I'm trying to get him to realize that we have to plan for this stuff. So I did have Is this the right one? No, this isn't the right one, but you guys saw this. This is from a couple months ago on the board, and we were talking about the upper 90 money, and is it all gone? So upper 90 money is all spent, all out of the account, so that's taken care of. Maybe it's in here. I keep trying to do technology goals, and I'm not getting very far because I started these goals at the beginning of the school year, and this, look at how many we already crossed off. So I'm working on that. Here we go. This is, so we have all of these, sorry, it's too long for one sheet. These are all our, what do we call these again? Servers. So, and again, I'm trying to get a grasp on when we bought it. So like this one says the key fob for server was before 2015, because that's when Adam started. He doesn't know when he bought the server. So that's why it says that. We really need to replace that. And so he's trying to get me approximate cost. Most of them are around $1,000. So that's not so much, but if you have to order 7 of them in 1 year, that's not good planning. So 1 or 2 of them are more expensive. So these are the 3. So we're gonna try and buy this one. This is really old, and so is this one. And so this one's a quote for 2 years, 5 years, and that's the total. And then this is just the network exciter. I don't even know what that means, but that's a $4,000 server. So again, when you're talking about building a budget and making plans, you have to, so far we've just been like, oh, let's just buy this, oh, let's buy this. And there's never been a plan for placement. But we still haven't gotten even to that point because we keep talking about buying new stuff. Every kid in this building has a computer now. It's amazing. We've done awesome stuff. But as soon as they break, we're out of luck because we don't have any extras. So
But, so with that, this would be an easy place to justify and spend extra money on.
yes,
Um,
making sure the servers are up to date. Yeah, it's easy.
And the computers, I mean, if you add that up, the bottom, scroll back down, thank you, right there. The bottom 3 right there, that's $10,000. And then if you take that 8,600, you just say you're gonna take $20,000 from the extra money, update the computers for the teachers, and do those 3 things there. That makes the other ones, that are 1,000 or so a piece on a regular budget year, much more manageable.
Yes, yeah.
And-
Where's my head in your way? Chip?
No,
and,
Sorry.
you take 20,000 out of the extra money, you've addressed 5 pretty major issues in our debt structure.
question, if we, where's the bottleneck now? Okay, we get the computers, the servers, is it the hard line coming in, their bandwidth coming in serving the school? I mean, we're talking about, and I've talked to Adam on this, with this net and without telephone.
Yeah.
Where is the bottleneck? Assuming we, I mean, that's a more maybe a question for Adam, but that's what, all 3 of these are interconnected. Okay, we got great, it's like, I got a great new computer. I'm gonna need new gaming on, hooked up to really, I got dial-up service. Okay, there's your problem.
Yeah.
Or a server that's, your WAPs or whatever. That's I guess that'd be one question there, because we do, okay, we get them all, and obviously we do need the computers and the servers, but then, will that lead us to, the computers are absolutely needed, because they always gotta be updated.
Yeah.
But the servers do too, but then we have to then deal with, in a very near point in time, the broadband, internet connectivity.
With the Bell telephone or
That's
disconnect.
that's an excellent point, because if we get that fiber hooked up, and then there's a plug between that and the rack,
Yeah.
but then it's,
Yeah, and that is more of an Adam question. It will increase our speed if we could hook up to one of those 2.
I mean, well.
Well, it is one of those that, and I'm dealing with this, I talked to a different school, and they were talking about all the fiber, and this is in Grant County, but it was the county board chair, because the Grant County is looking at putting a sonic ring, basically a classical fiber optic ring. I don't know how many using federal dollars they're expecting they're gonna get to do this, to increase, broadband capacity that anybody can connect to. But then I posed to him, I said, oh, wait a minute, I learned a little bit from Adam. It's like, but you know, they talk about WISNet, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, you gotta make sure that these systems comply with what public schools have to have. This is why public schools go through certain networks, because they meet whatever, whether it be privacy, I don't know. I mean, Adam's, I know. totally
Adam knows
about
all about it, yeah,
But-
but that's what he's given to these two
And
companies.
he told me that, and he hadn't been, I know Adam was frustrated because they're like, oh, yeah, we can do that, because I brought it up when Laval Telephone was first put, and I was talking to Shannon Clark. I said, now Shannon, because Shannon had us give a letter of support for this
Yeah.
project for the
Yeah.
PSC program. He said, oh, yeah, we can do that, we can do that. And I remember I was paraphrasing what Adam had said, and I basically said, you gotta talk to Adam on it. And I know Adam was a bit frustrated because I think was finding the same thing. He said, okay, we gotta have this, this, and this. Oh, yeah, we can do that, we can do that. Now, wait a minute, do you understand? We gotta have this, this, and this. Oh, and it was kind
Yeah.
of like, this guy didn't really realize, whoever Adam was talking to, you know, and he had to document that before we're gonna make that leap.
Yes, he's got like 25 things, which sounds like too many, but I mean, they do a 24-hour notification if our servers go down. They do a 24-hour notification on this and that and the next thing. And we need all that. You know, we can't have if the power goes out, we still have to have our alarm system up. I still should be getting a phone call if somebody breaks
I
in.
can't do a shutdown and an update in the middle of the school day.
Yeah, you know, there's just something, and you're right, Adam's the guy.
Yeah, I know. I
So,
mean, that's just
um,
one of the things that pops in my head there is, it's one link of a chain here to get the education, to get the internet into our students. to have
Yep,
Access to
yep.
it in an effective manner. And, you know, this is addressing a lot of it, but there's still, I'm always, what's the bottleneck there?
It's the old bigger pipe, then you neck it back down.
Back
again.
it down, yep.
Yeah.
Talk about, you know, I've dealt with that water systems and Muscatine and stuff. It's like, you'll kill the fire suppression, you know, we need that all because we went from an 8 down to a 6 and back up to an 8. It don't work that way.
Yeah,
And same with the internet. So I just wanted, you know, Adam, I know is on it, but
Yep.
it's one of those
Yep.
things that when we do this, then one may lead to another cost.
I wholeheartedly expect there to be another big chunk of change that has to be spent someplace to
Well,
get it.
there's a lot of a lot of talk right now about federal funding, you know, and I've thrown you at a lot of stuff on these internet surveys and things like that. But what I'm hearing is whether both at the state level and, you know, the governor's budget, you know, who knows what we'll get there, but there does seem to be some bipartisan support for broadband. And the same at the federal level. They're talking about it, and I've talked to Senator Markline about it and others about it, that there is opportunities, I think, you'll see funding, and hopefully K-12 schools will help entice these. But, you know, we do have fiber running by here, just
Yeah.
will it work?
Yeah.
Meet the standards required by the school.
and it's run all the way to the building. It's not like it's an extra cost for us to get it it's to the building. It's just like unplug this one and plug this one in. Of course, it's longer than that, but,
Yeah, I know.
and we can do that at any time, provided the things.
Better than we were a couple years
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic about it. I'm like, yeah, but you know,
You've been
until
through it
until
enough to
Adam
know
tells
that
me or you tell me, it's like, yeah, we're going.
Yep. And like I said, I'm still in the gathering information stage. And, you know, when I sit down with Adam and I'm like, Adam, how much does that cost? How much does that cost? How much does that cost? And if he doesn't know, he gets me, but, you know, to know I have to spend in order to get and these are basically elementary classrooms with a new TV and, you know, $62,000 isn't something you just throw in a budget. You have to plan for replacement. And it's the same thing with that Chromebooks age out, Chrome tabs age out. Yes, right now we got all brand new ones, and in 5 years, they're all gonna be crap. So let's not do that to ourselves. Let's plan. So,
I would expect that if we spend $20,000 on doing those, you know, those servers, and then, you know, because that's 10,000, another 8,600.
Yeah.
For those computers that, you know, get rounded up to 20,000, and you're still, there's gonna be 10,000 or 15,000 incidental in getting the fiber into this school and getting what we need to make everything work right.
Oh, yeah,
That would be my guess. I would
always
plan that way, and then
There's always
if you don't spend it, you know, it'd be someplace else, but I sure wouldn't go into next year not finding that we're gonna have to spend significant amount of money to get, like you say, to get pull that last bottleneck out of there.
Yep.
How much is the ESSER funding again?
So the first. So we have the 3 funds and we're talking ESSER 2, the last
Yeah.
bunch is 167.
Okay.
So that is, we haven't spent any of that. And so that's why I'm like, if I can get you guys to kind of prioritize, I'll know how to budget and that kind of stuff. And
That's what you should do.
yeah, we're getting 100. Yeah, we already got
I'll take it.
500 of those. Yeah. All right, so I'm very proud that our technology is only 3 items and some of them are in the work, so. And then these are, again, the red ones are just, what do you want kind of a thing, and, you know, some of this stuff isn't something that we have to have, but look at here, community gym needs locker rooms updated, that kind of stuff. Water running over the back culvert, the washer and dryer was mentioned a couple years ago. And then the only thing that didn't fit good was the front entrance. And again, if that's something that we want to do, well, we might have the money through this process, but I don't want to pre-spend a whole bunch of money. I want to be ready to spend it when we get it and it's been allocated and we know we're doing really well. Because we got a pallet of those wipes, right? You don't remember how much that cost? Yeah, just $700 for a pallet of wipes. You know, that's not an expense we normally have. You might order a case or 2 for the year, but you got a pallet this year. So those are costs that we aren't normally experiencing, so.
Yeah, I would recommend as a committee, that we go to the board and recommend that we spend 20,000 of that estimate. Those, the computers for sure for the middle school and the elementary, right? Where's that middle school? And high school?
It's middle school and high school teachers, yep.
And then those, the servers, the more expensive servers. So I would put that in, talk to Adam.
Okay.
And if he's comfortable with, putting it on Monday's
Okay.
agenda. If he's not comfortable yet with the numbers and stuff, that we could just do the computers and do the servers later or
Okay.
whatever, but whatever he's comfortable with bringing to the board level on Monday. Is
Okay.
everybody okay with it? Yeah.
All right, I will do
Whatever
that.
he's comfortable, and just let me know. She showed me that. agenda. But just let me know whatever he wants to put on it, if he wants to put the whole thing. Or just part of it.
Yep,
We can talk about the whole thing. You know, whatever he's comfortable with.
Okay.
But I think that's very, very good.
and then these are the ones that weren't, well, I mean, the auditorium and the parking lots were on the list. But doing the additional parking lot, which you know is now the one quote we have left is the 673,000, right? And then people were mentioning air conditioning. If you're gonna have summer school, you should have air conditioning for the kids. I'm like, well, there's no other way we would get air conditioning unless we did it that way. The playground equipment, improving the airflow, that's the systems they now have that you can put on and it highly filtrates the air and everything, and parking lot, so auditorium. So those are other considerations that, again, I just wanted them tossed out there.
Why don't you clarify that this bid, make sure that it's the whole area that you want, and we'll bring it back to another meeting. Is that okay?
Yes. We do have to have clarification.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah.
The other day with the town board, Steve and I were talking about it with payments of road, we got some funding. And look, the bids were very good, apples to apples, but not quite totally apples. One was a red delicious, the other one was a
Gale
Spark.
or something.
It was a Spark.
Both of them are poor than that.
Yeah, they are. But no, they came in under budget. We were happy because this was such a big project, but there was still we still need to get clarification. Okay, you are realizing you're putting gravel down this whole 5 and whatever mile stretch. And even though your numbers don't really seem to clarify that. So it's the same way here, as long as we have a clear understanding.
Okay,
Like Pat Anderson from Gas, he did some good day. This company is well done. Well, it's very well done.
Household, and they're gonna have it set up a little bit.
Yeah, so some of this stuff, he said, it might knock out, build down. Because they'll take it from there.
That'd be a first.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Especially with
So
children.
I know they're gonna have that one done, because I just had them go bid on our driveway doing that, so.
And then did you want us to even look at any of these? As possibilities for,
I would,
Well,
just talking myself, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing what, like not air conditioning, but a better air
well, yeah, I'd like to
purification system.
cost. I mean, that's that's why I asked, okay, we got X number of dollars coming in. And
That's the
what do
time to
these
do it.
things cost?
Yeah,
I mean, I have
okay.
to do this. I mean,
Now, that
what-
filtration system, I did call, there's like 4 or 5 school districts that have it. I called everyone. I called Vernon Memorial Hospital, because they've got it, and I called Western Hospital, because they've got it. And they've got nothing but great about it. But if I stuck $57,000, I'd be good too. I wouldn't say I made a mistake, so.
Or you'd be crying really loud.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's different than air conditioning.
Oops.
it's just air.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it
different.
Filters the air.
And it, of course, with the virus in the air now, that's what they're talking about.
Now, one person, the guy from Building Memorial, he said that he's been putting in houses, because he likes it that much. And he said his wife went and had all kinds of allergies. After a month, she never complained about her allergies. So, and this is from somebody that, you know,
Yeah.
that something.
That's what I that was.
That's just,
That was.
yeah, I don't want to say that out loud.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, did I miss anything? Any other matters of building in your grounds we need to bring up?
No, we've talked about the shower heads.
You have a plan for that, I see.
Yeah, it's on the list.
We have a game plan, but I don't know how good it's gonna be.
Yeah, he's all,
Full shower heads, that's from a Seinfeld episode, but
Oh.
everybody. Everything goes back to Seinfeld, but that's what I see that, it's like, what's your plan, low flow shower heads, and everybody's got mad at me or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
You see what, I think in the other, probably every other school district, they have those gravity pits.
Yeah.
And they're expensive.
Remember you told them, you've talked about this.
Yeah, and you cannot get the product, it takes forever to get it, you're the only ones that can get it. So I would like to get the whole thing like this, but something
But
that's
you know what I mean?
colder,
It can.
or it's
one piece that we need is about this big. It looks like an
That's right.
elongated nut, $82
$88
each.
and you do 2 of them. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I
Hey,
did
they
talk
have you
to
over a
Foster.
barrel.
Yeah, they do, that's exactly what it is, it's
Yeah. I talked to Foster and I asked him, what would it cost to replace each unit? I made a price per unit. And he said about $400 or $500. So over that being like,
shower.
there's 9, and then if you take the one in the handicap, it'd be 10, and then if you take one in the coach, it'd be 11.
So 11 showers,
So that'd be 22 total, because you
oh,
got
22.
22 times 4 is 8,800. So figure $10,000. But if you bought those, that little thing you're talking about,
Yeah,
if you bought 22, well, you buy 44 of those. If you bought those, it'd be about $5,000. So you might as well just do the whole thing. Next time we need a part, you just go to Ace Hardware or Menards, get it, replace it.
so he's talking about the shower needs this little piece. They're $80 each or whatever.
Okay.
So that's the Frankie as a plan.
You told us about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you go on there, it's ridiculous. Again, it's been 26 years. So they should have looked at this. But instead of replacing one part, why don't you do the whole thing? And it's gonna look a whole lot better. And you know,
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Have them give a bid on doing all of them. Okay.
And Foster, yeah.
Because we're losing water.
And like I said, I've already got the bid. It's about 400 to 500. It all depends what he runs into
Yeah.
per unit.
Yeah.
So,
Just have them write it up, make sure.
I
nothing
will do
stays,
that.
then bring it
And
back.
then you,
Because
and you can work on it, Frank, is that right? We don't have to have somebody.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
and we're wasting water now.
Well, we're not only wasting water, I mean, it drips all the time because those little gears that, Jude's talking about, when you shut them off, it doesn't stop right there, it just spins right around.
It's, and then it's slimy because it's always wet. Yeah.
Not a ball valve. It's kind of one of those things that they make it so you have to have them fix it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if you want to talk about the situation yesterday we had about the bathroom.
You can mention it, because we have other matters of buildings and grounds.
Yeah.
That's just for another day.
No, we have other matters of buildings and grounds.
The staff bathroom then. Back there. So I went and called Foster because we couldn't get it undone. It's the third time this year it's done twice in the last 3 weeks. So I called Foster to come and snake it out. And I said, bring the camera with you. I want to see where this is, the fountain is. So he got it. And once he got snaked out, he goes, he said, we went to 80-some feet without a manhole. I said, that's not 80-some feet. He goes, no. So he kept doing it. He finally got it snaked out, but he did the camera. And like the bathroom's right here, the custodial closet's here. That's where the old bathrooms went through fire. You should take a left and go right out past Lobshaw's room and then right out to them. But he snaked it. He went to the closet and then it went to the right. And he did a Y, and then another Y, and then another Y. And it went all the way out here into that road, right by Chris Willis to do. And then it made a U-turn and then went back. And the only thing it wasn't funny.
It is from my end, because I'm not doing it.
And the only thing I could figure out was that gymnasium probably had a sink or a water fountain.
That gym had a water.
They had a water fountain.
Okay, and they
Well, there
probably,
was one,
Right in the corner, yeah.
well, you got Nick's office was a sink.
That's true. Yeah, he's got.
you wouldn't believe how many
Got
people
out the
I
sideline.
called to figure out what
Hey,
stuff was.
just need to talk to
I
small
should- I
wrestlers.
should-
There was a
And,
water fountain, we never got to drink out of it.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
sure not.
Yeah, if you hit it with a dodgeball, then you were out. If you hit it with a dodgeball.
That sounds so much like you.
So anyway, it's, they should have capped, when they did
Yeah,
it, they
they
should have capped and they didn't do it, so this is.
Well, I suppose that was part of the reason that Chris's room was smelling. Remember? we had-
No.
No,
No,
we
they
found that.
was-
I found a crack pipe under it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
No.
cracked, and set right back down on it, basically. So, yeah,
There was about that much of the pipe that was held together, the rest of it all cracked. And the only reason we found it when we did the building, then that stuff didn't go up and release out through the ramp.
so you do a nice, small, good deed goes unpunished.
I know.
We're all warmer, but we can't stand the smell.
So what's the, what do they think that to prevent this?
Well, we couldn't figure out where that sink was. And again, I don't remember this because I wasn't here. So I'm not really grand enough. But anyway,
Right. I couldn't find where Gary's office is at anymore. It's been like,
see, I had a call to get a group for him to come up and show him exactly where it was.
yeah.
And I called Floyd Anderson, talked to him yesterday, and told him to be here. And I talked to Eileen Lewis and talked to Cheryl and talked to Annette and so forth. And again, I still can't pinpoint it, but they did come in with this little outfit. And they knew where the PVC pipe was, and as soon as they went and got to the cast iron pipe, then it quit. So there must be a line that runs there. But that water fountain, I'm assuming is right there in Jacobson's room now. That little overhead,
101.
I'm assuming it's right there, but I'm not sure. So, and I don't know if there's something he can do to maybe put something in there and squirt it in there to harden it up to block it. I have no idea. But it seemed like he was interested in finding it. Or he could,
So where are the old? The boys' bathroom was the first bathroom you come out of the old gym. Where would that be the door where
Shelley.
Shelley's at?
well, I don't,
I think it was
I don't
one more.
think so.
Well, I think that the wall, the east wall would have been,
The bathroom.
but see, that all of that tore out.
Yeah, they just redid it.
Yeah.
The doors that are here that came in.
Yeah.
There used to be a telephone secretary.
So the door that's out there right now has not moved. Correct?
The doors that the kids go in and out of.
I believe that the way Cheryl explained to me, that wasn't there. And Bob Shaw's room, which would be Palmer America's room now, was not there. And I don't think Pink Staff's room was. They said there was a window that was right there that went into the gym.
That waterfall was right there. And this is the boys. And this wall that you went in, the door to go into his office.
sink with her.
Absolutely. That's the real-
So he's looking into getting different kind of toilet paper again.
no,
Because we're paying through the nose for this stuff up here, but it seems to be working as an experiment. They give us free dispensers. And it's more biodegradable. It's in sheets versus that just love a long string. And knock on wood.
I sent an email out to him today and told him that I was looking elsewhere. And I've got another company sending me some samples. Man, he said, and he's gonna give me a discount on that, and then he's gonna give me a discount on the paper towels also. And he's gonna furnish all the dispensers, and then he would even give us money to install dispensers.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I guess.
Well,
Okay, it's
No competition.
well, exactly.
Well, let's keep the plug up now.
Yeah.
But when we pulled that manhole cover to look, toilet paper came down and it wasn't,
Nothing.
it was completely involved.
It's intact.
And Frost said, by the time it gets from that big wing down there, it should be December. And he says it's not, it's big balls. And I said, well, Larry and I went and had all this thing out before you got him. And I said, and then it all bunched up. So,
So, yeah, we love talking about sewage. Anything else, Frank?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Yeah,
The other matters of building and grounds. Next meeting, May 5th at 5.
that's skipping a month. If you guys are okay with that.
No guarantees.
I would rather go April and possibly skip May. Just ask for stuff.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is true. I do have building and grounds down on the 7th at church. You want 5? I like 5.
So
I
April,
have it on the 7th at 5.
April 7th at 5 o'clock. Is it a flip phone?
Oh, yeah, I don't mind.
My brother-in-law has a flip phone. He paid like through the nose, like $750 to get a new flip phone. I'm like, what are you idiot? What?
Kenny Anderson almost got one, and so in his work.
All right, so April 7th at 5. Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else? Not all, motion to adjourn. You can take that, Randy.
Okay. All right, let me do stop share. Stop